What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another roster bubble video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on post notifications so you know when a live stream drops. Please share this out as well. Appreciate y'all coming back. Roster bubble video number 5, I believe it is. And we are doing another linebacker today on the outside. His name is, let me pull it up. Oh, that's right. He's already on the screen. Niko Lalos. A lot of people have crossed him off and said he's not making the roster. We'll go into it. If you're not familiar with these type of videos, I go into the player, the background, competition, how that player can win the spot, how the player can lose the spot, and, of course, a prediction at the end. So let's get right into it. So Niko Lalos was an undrafted free agent out of Dartmouth. In 2020, the Giants signed him, and the previous season at Dartmouth, Niko Lalos had a total of 5.5 sacks, 10 tackles for a loss, 35 tackles total, a fumble forced, a fumble recovered, and a interception. So pretty much like his rookie year, except for the tackles and the sacks and tackles for a loss. The fumble recovery and the interception, kind of like his rookie year in the NFL. We'll talk about that in just a second. So he gets to the NFL, and mostly he was on the practice squad. Mostly, the first, I think it was, 10 games he was on the practice squad. Sometimes they protected him. Sometimes they didn't. There are, 4 players you can protect. And now with these new rules, or at least they're not that new. They've been in since 2020, but you can protect 4 players from the practice squad the day before the game. So Niko Lalos was protected a few times, and he got his first action against the Cincinnati Bengals, and he got an interception off of Brandon Allen. It was tipped, but he still caught it for a pick. Giants ended up winning the game later on down the road. Then the next week, he makes another impact play, which was a fumble recovery. Russell Wilson fumbled the snap, and Wilson couldn't hold on to it, and guess what? The Dartmouth boy recovers it. Niko Lalos. I will say it 2 different times in this video. Just a heads up there if you're a pronunciation geek. Now, of course, I wouldn't want anyone mispronouncing my name, but I actually don't know which one it is. Anyway, for the rest of the season, he didn't really seem to make any plays. He had 6 tackles on the year and 1 pressure and 1 hurry, and that was pretty much it for Lalos. So the next year he competed in camp, was with the second and third teams, and he got cut, was on the practice squad, and with that being said, he was protected a few times, wasn't given any playing time. So in his rookie year, I do have the snap count with me, if you'll hold for a second. Niko Lalos, in the 6 games, he played a total of 17% of the snaps, which isn't bad, considering the way the Giants' linebacking core down the stretch was actually depleted. Kyler Fackrell, IR. Lorenzo Carter, IR. O'Shane Zimenez, IR. There's a lot of guys, and Patrick Graham was making do with those young linebackers. Carter Coughlin, Cam Brown, T.J. Brunson really didn't get much playing time at the time. But Niko Lalos was also in there as well, so he was getting snaps. But let's go into the competition. Tamon Fox, undrafted free agent out of UNC. I would say both are on a level playing field because Tamon Fox played at a better school. He has more impressive stats. Meanwhile, Niko Lalos has been at the NFL level. So I guess sort of an even playing field. Jihad Ward, he was brought in on a 1-year contract, probably the leadership role on this team. And I'm not talking Michael Strahan leader. I'm not talking Eli Manning type leader. I'm talking a leader, coach up Kayvon Thibodeau, coach up Darian Beavers, because he can do what they do. He's not elite at all of those. He's not an all-pro player, but he can drop into coverage. He could rush from the inside, and you also rush from the outside like Kayvon Thibodeau can. So, there's a lot of things incorporated there. And Jihad Ward is also very familiar with Wink Martindale's defense. O'Shane Zimenez, 4.5 sacks his rookie year. Not much after that, so he may actually be on a level playing field with Niko Lalos. Quincy Roche, 2.5 sacks last year, plus a couple of impact plays, 2 forced fumbles that I remember, one against Kansas City, and the game-winning forced fumble against Las Vegas. And then also Ellerson Smith, the undrafted, actually, no, not undrafted, 4th-round rookie out of Northern Iowa last year. Didn't come up with any sacks, probably had 1 or 2 pressures, but got injured the first half of the season. Second half, he started playing, but not by much. Let's take a look at his snap count just to take a look at it. Ellerson Smith, he had 3 pressures on the season, so good for him there, and he had 19% snaps played, so good for him there, I guess. But anyway, back to Niko Lalos. How can he win? Stay healthy is one of the bigger ones. Stay healthy, you know. Stay on the field is just pretty simple like that. Stay healthy. Make plays in the preseason, in practice, in training camp. Be loud. He is very, 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 very deep down on the depth chart right now. I'm predicting, of course. There's no official depth chart. There isn't even an unofficial depth chart. But with that being said, he's very deep down. I think right now guys like Jihad Ward, Quincy Roche, Ellerson Smith, and also guys like Aziz and Kayvon, maybe even Tamon Fox are ahead of him. But Niko Lalos has to make plays. He has to get loud to be able to beat guys like Tamon Fox, to be able to beat guys like Ellerson Smith. And, you know, something that I guess we could talk about here is Ellerson Smith and Niko Lalos, they're both from the past coaching staff. Quincy Roche has proven a little bit more. But those 2 guys, Smith and Niko Lalos, though Ellerson Smith was a last year draft pick, those 2 guys are from the same set of coaches. So they have no ties here, you know. Brian Dable and Joe Shane, they don't have ties to Ellerson Smith and Niko Lalos. But Tamon Fox, also UDFA, so probably on a level playing field. But Ellerson Smith, I would give a little bit more of leverage than Niko Lalos. But he's got to be loud. He's got to make plays. He's got to do what he can, win some reps, show something to these coaches. How can he lose the position? By not winning many reps, by not staying on the field, and just being very quiet. Sometimes if you have a quiet camp, it's actually very good. But if you're a pass rusher, if you're a linebacker, like an inside linebacker, it's not very good. If you're a wide receiver and you have a quiet camp, not very good. It's different if you're a corner on occasion. It's different if you're an offensive lineman. It's different if you're a safety and you're playing the right spot. It's different in those positions, but some positions at the NFL level, if you have a quiet camp, it's not very much of a good thing. You're not making too many plays. And that's what Niko Lalos really needs to do in this camp. He needs to make plays. He needs to stay on the field, or else he's going to be passed up on the depth chart with guys like Tamon Fox, with guys like Jihad Ward, with guys like Quincy Roche, with guys like Ellerson Smith. You know, we already know Kayvon and Aziz, they're locks to make the roster. So who's going to fill up the next 3-4 spots? Well, I shouldn't say 3-4 spots, but the 3rd spot, the 4th spot, and the 5th spot. We'll see how many. And also to factor in as well, what if they move Carter Coughlin back to outside? If they don't have enough, let's just say they like him, right? He's another candidate that will come up in a couple episodes. What if they have all of their inside linebackers filled out with guys like Tay Crowder, Beavers, McFadden, and all the other guys on the inside? What if they have that filled up? And then they're like, okay, we want to keep Carter Coughlin on, though. What if they stash him as an outside linebacker? What if that happens and there's no room? But Niko Lalos just has to win reps. He has to make plays. He has to be loud. He has to stay on the field in order to drive his way up the depth chart. But overall, man, I don't have him making the roster. I think he's just too quiet of a player, honestly. I mean, it's great that he's gotten this chance in the NFL from a very small school, a school that faces teams like Cornell and Princeton in football, and those aren't, you know, top-level college teams like Bama, UNC. You know, those are not those schools. But it's great to this point to hear the story, right? That's something he could tell one day. And also the first 2 games of his NFL career, an interception and a fumble recovery. I mean, you know, what are the chances, right? But I don't have him making the roster. I feel like Jihad Ward and a few other guys will make it over him. If you haven't already, like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on post notifications so you know when live stream pops up your drops. Appreciate y'all coming back. Ring that notification bell. Do all the good stuff. Help us out here. We want to achieve 500 and a couple more milestones. Share it out as well. Hope you guys are liking the series so far, and I will see you in the next video or live stream. Peace.